EA Sports. It's in the game.
It's the coach. Welcome to EA Sports coverage of the 2019 NFL Pro Bowl from right here in Orlando, Florida. Coming up, the AFC looking to make it 3 in a row as they square off against their rivals from the NFC. I'll be back at halftime, but first, let's get you downtown to Camping World Stadium. Standing by our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Straight ahead, bragging rights on the line in the 46th meeting of the AFC and the NFC in the 2019 NFL Pro Bowl game. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, it's the Pro Bowl. You never really know what to expect, so I guess I'll ask you, what do you expect?
Well, in recent years, it has turned into an absolute offensive explosion, hasn't it? Games in the 50s are not out of line. What you're hoping is that some of these great defenders have a chance to adjust and react and maybe narrow that down a little bit. But I will say, this game is tilted heavily towards the offense's advantage.
All set to go now from Orlando. The 2019 NFL Pro Bowl is underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The NFC offense taking the field, being led in blue by the NFL's all-time passing leader. 12th Pro Bowl nomination for the great QB from New Orleans, Drew Brees.
And you and I both know that this is not easy for him. It's fun to play football at any time, but you know he'd rather be preparing for the Super Bowl and still trying to get that missed call out of his head that may have prevented his Saints from getting there.
Caught on the right side by Jones. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
For the NFC, boy, you talk about a dynamic set of backs and receivers. We'll see Zeke later on, but Saquon Barkley, Todd Gurley, they're your starters. That's 1, 2, 3 in the NFL in rushing last year. And then how about out wide? Julio Jones, Michael Thomas, Zach Ertz leading a deep group. Weapons galore for Drew Brees and the other NFC QBs. Here's Brees going up top, and that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the AFC will take over 1st and 10. The AFC heading out on offense, and leading him is number 15 from the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, in his first ever Pro Bowl.
Get your tux, get your best suit, Let's head to the red carpet. NFL Honors is coming up, and he will be the heavy favorite to be the NFL MVP. And let's face it, we'll see him here at the Pro Bowl many times to come in future years.
A first-time Pro Bowler. Here's James Conner of the Steelers. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. The Panthers' Luke Kuechly there on the tackle. The starting unit for the AFC. Definite Pittsburgh connection on that offensive line. 3 Steelers in Villanueva, Pouncey, and DeCastro. Also in that starting group, Quentin Nelson, the rookie from Indy at left guard, and the Titans' Taylor Lewan, selected to his 3rd straight Pro Bowl at right tackle. A second-time Pro Bowler here. This is the Chargers' Melvin Gordon. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Well, quite a front 7 for the NFC. Jordan, Donald, Fletcher, Lawrence, Cox, they've all been here before, as have the linebackers, Mack, Kuechly, and Kerrigan. Though for Khalil Mack, it's his first appearance in an NFC uniform after 3 Pro Bowl selections as an Oakland Raider. Now they'll throw with Mahomes. Steps away to his left. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down. Pretty lucky to get the football back. Had his target out there waving the arms, saying I'm open, but maybe didn't see him quick enough.
And I know the jokes are always about defensive backs' hands. What really actually happens, you don't get many opportunities. You get over anxious, and you start to think about taking it away and going the other way instead of focusing and catching the ball.
Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
Brees going to throw. And he will find his Saints teammate Michael Thomas complete. A quick first down pickup. Good start after going 3 and out on their opening drive. For Drew Brees, this his 12th Pro Bowl nomination. Though he hasn't played all 12 years, but still, what a career and what a season. And to do it at this age, unbelievable.
Not too bad for a guy who turned 40 the week leading up to the NFC Championship game. He keeps himself in such superb physical condition and still loves everything that goes along with football. He may play till he's 60.
To throw is Brees. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. The starting defense now for the AFC.
Jadeveon Clowney was the #1 pick in the NFL draft, and it was with good reason. An absolute athletic freak. Now he's trying to add consistency to his game.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Brees now. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete.
Pass interference.
Well, let's see who this is on. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. It's the correct call.
You look back a few years ago, Charles, when the Pro Bowl did that 3-year experimentation. I know you're a traditionalist. You like AFC versus NFC.
Yes, I do.
But for the games 2014, 15, and 16, they tried something a little different. They held essentially a fantasy draft for players. Year 1, it was Jerry Rice, Deion Sanders as captains. Year 2, Michael Irvin and Chris Carter. And then in year 3, Michael Irvin again matching up against Jerry Rice.
And one common denominator, every single one of those guys with a gold jacket, all of them in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So they didn't ask you and I to be the captains and make the picks. And by the way, the playmaker, Michael Irvin, went 2-0. And you know...
And Gurley here fumbled it. Gurley fumbles the football. It's loose.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. To the right side and complete to Thomas. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
7 yards there and a first down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Now the leading rusher in the league, Ezekiel Elliott of the Cowboys, his second Pro Bowl. And same result. He's going to take this just to the line of scrimmage before running into a brick wall. So they tried runs on 1st and goal and 2nd and goal, got stonewalled. Now from here, they've got to throw. And he will score. Touchdown, NFC. It's a 6-yard touchdown pass. And the NFC is in for 6. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The AFC offense making their way back out. Well, we can continue to talk Pro Bowl as we go along, but let's talk a little Super Bowl. Super Bowl 53, 1 week from today over in Atlanta, New England taking on the Rams. Time for your Super Bowl prediction, CD. What do you think?
Well, everyone thinks defense when they think the New England Patriots. But in the time that they've had their head coach and their quarterback, Tom Brady, guess what? They're the #1 offensive team in the NFL. And you know the Rams are high flyers as well. So that tells me that this Super Bowl, low scoring. It's going to be a total anomaly. I'm thinking somewhere in the neighborhood of 13-10 final score. Going totally opposite what it should be.
Well, I'm going to completely disagree. I see high scoring, maybe 51-44, something like that. The two punters, so Johnny Hecker and Ryan Allen, don't even show up to this one.
Johnny Hecker might throw a touchdown pass because you know the Rams like to fake it when he's on the field. When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times, watch him make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish? Holding that to a minimal game.
For Patrick Mahomes, what a season he had. First as a full-time starter, and he goes over 5,000 yards, 50 touchdowns, and rewarded with his first Pro Bowl.
And think about if you're in Kansas City, the organization, the team, the city, how well are you set up for future years with that youngster as your quarterback? Not only are the guys on the team excited about it, think about free agents, thinking about where they might want to play. If you're a free agent receiver, you're thinking Kansas City.
2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. Fans, a reminder, I have a note card here that says ad-lib halftime previews. So I guess let's do just that as we'll hand things over to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando in this one. And he will score. Touchdown AFC. DeAndre Hopkins, 31 yards. And the AFC is an extra point away from tying this game up. Great play, but admittedly, the tackling in the Pro Bowl, Charles, not always the best.
I would say that they're not quite as committed to getting a guy on the ground in the Pro Bowl as maybe during the regular season and, of course, in the playoffs. But still, heck of an individual effort there on that run.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Throwing on first down is Breeze. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. On first and 10, here's Breeze. Thomas has got it, complete. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. Looking to throw again on second down. Breeze, pressure, and the AFC gets to him for the sack.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Now Breeze on third down. He'll find Thielen working the middle. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the second time. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter. The final shot before half for Breeze. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we're at halftime of the 2019 Pro Bowl with a score tied. As we'll send you across town to our studios here in Orlando and check in with the coach at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A very tightly contested first half of play in this Pro Bowl, all tied up at the break. And I'll tell you what, this is not the touch football games we saw a few years back. These guys are in it to win it. As we send you back to Camping World Stadium and Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set and ready to go for the second half. 1 touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. Yeah, he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The AFC offense now set to start this third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time. Luke Kuechly combines speed, intelligence, toughness, puts it all together. It makes plays like one we just saw there. He may not be a big-time blitzer, but boy, he knows how to pursue straight ahead and make plays in the run game.
Here's Mahomes to throw, and it's complete to Kelsey. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 17, and it also gives him the first down. Well, he was so good throwing the football on third down during the regular season. Why wouldn't it carry over here to the Pro Bowl?
Sometimes that's just who you are, right? If you're good at something, as you said, during the regular season, so what if it's with a bunch of guys you're unfamiliar with? It's third down, he finds a way to convert.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. When you think about the history of this Pro Bowl game, there was an all-star game going all the way back to 1939, but it officially became called the Pro Bowl in, I think, 1951.
You're exactly right. And that game was played out in L.A. in the same stadium where the L.A. Rams currently play. And back then, they split it into conferences, the American Conference versus the National Conference. The American Conference won 28-27. MVP of the game, quarterback Otto Graham, nickname Automatic.
And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short. Blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Well, we've talked about this game being hosted here in Orlando, and you and I are quite familiar with this place, especially you. You live, what, 20, 25 minutes from here?
Yeah, not bad at all, right? An easy trip to come right to the studios here in Orlando. You, of course, have to give a little bit more effort, a quick flight, then you're here, but you've learned this city quite well. And how about it, the Madden Studios right here in Orlando? That's where Coach and the guys hang out as well.
This is Counter, and he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
And we tend to give those running backs that are slashers a lot of credit, but how about guys who are maulers? Because that's what you want in short yardage situations, and we just saw that occur right there, didn't we?
Vertical, downhill running. Here's Counter. He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. To throw, it's Mahomes, rolling to his right. And this is caught at the 8. A gain there of 21 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Yellow, on the line. Switch up, switch up.
And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
2nd and goal from the 6 this time. Now here's Mahomes on the move, and this results in 6. Touchdown! Patrick Mahomes. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the AFC has taken the lead. He doesn't need a lot of space for an electric run. He showed that there. Heck, they told us this week they were hoping he would break a big one. He just did.
And what did his offensive, remember we talked with the offensive line, and one of the guys, one of the stalwarts said, I don't even have to make a great block for him. If I just breathe bad breath on the guy in front of me, often that opens up enough space for him to go.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Now the NFC heading out for their first drive of the second half. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
Credit the tackle to the Texans middle linebacker Bernardrick McKinney.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
From the 22, Breeze. And Jones has it over the middle. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow...
Oh, no, he lost the football. And that's picked up by the AFC.
Offside. Defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes him from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run? And he will carry this one in. Touchdown NFC. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the NFC just an extra point away from tying up this game. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Back out is the AFC offense. And it's great to see the stars all out in one place, but in terms of football, what's really great to see is a very entertaining Pro Bowl as we are tied in the 4th quarter.
And how many of these guys thought going into this game, after a pretty easy week heading into it, that the pressure would ratchet up now and someone has to make a play, which means someone will have a play made against them and not have to live with that for the rest of the year.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Following the penalty, here's Gordon. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Mahomes going to pull it out and keep it himself. He's got a man wide open. It's Landry. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Still second down.
Next hit. Yellow. 180. 43. Cut the block. We won.
They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Defensively, mission accomplished, and now with under 3 to go, they may be the last team holding the football.
They may very well be the last team holding the football, unless, of course, You're facing a group that is really aggressive offensively and may want to take a gamble, but theoretically, you've done your job now. You should get the ball back on a punt, but I'd be alert for a fake.
Now Mahomes being chased out left. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on fourth. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the fourth quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time, and that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
All told, they get 13 yards on that play.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he's able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Mahomes firing complete. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Let's go.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. And that is caught for an AFC touchdown from 19 yards away. And the AFC has broken this tie. Well, we saw that tandem hook up quite a few times during the regular season, didn't we?
We certainly did, and it continues now in the Pro Bowl. You have to know that even if they didn't consciously plan it, you do try and find guys you're familiar with in a game like this.
And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not. It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Myers connects on the PAT, and the lead is now 21-14. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it ends with an AFC touchdown. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So it's the NFC with the football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Back to throw. He gets it to Thomas. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. The throw over the middle taken in. And he's able to get this way down deep into enemy territory. It's a big play that time for the NFC. 45 yards. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 11 more yards that go around. A first down as well.
This defense needs a big play in the worst way because so far, they're not putting up much of a fight. If they don't get a stop here soon, this game could be over for them.
The Pro Bowl tight end Zach Ertz, the intended target, but it'll be 2nd and goal. He's back to throw. And it's caught. It's a touchdown. So they rally here in the final minute, and they're an extra point away from time in this game.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down 1. That extra point is not a gimme.
A very important extra point there, up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. To throw is Mahomes. Out to his left. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Sliding out of the pocket. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Back to throw. Mahomes looking downfield for... Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Now the AFC going to use their final timeout of the half as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Mahomes. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Mahomes to throw. They'll roll him out right. He's got a 1st down and then some at midfield. That one good for a 1st down pickup of 18 yards. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Steps away. Incomplete. And we're down to 8 seconds now. DeAndre Hopkins, the Pro Bowler, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Mahomes to throw once more. Buying time to his left. Caught left side Hopkins. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That one covers 29 yards. 1st down. So now this one will rest on the right foot of Jason Myers. 2 seconds on the clock. This for the win. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So now this one will rest on the right foot of Jason Myers. 2 seconds on the clock. This for the win. And it is good. He splits the uprights on the chip shot. And they've come in here and stolen one on the road. So, Charles, final thoughts on this AFC victory?
Bottom line, nobody appeared to be seriously hurt. That's the first thing we look for in this game. Well played, a lot of fun, a lot of excitement. I think that everyone's going to go home pretty happy, especially the AFC since they won the game.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. So long, everybody.